Okay, so what we're really working on is thinking about teaching short vowels over a 5-day period. And, over the course of the week, you're going to have different goals. So in red, I've written out my goals. On Monday, I really want kids to just be able to hear and sort that short A sound. And then on Tuesday, I think it makes sense to have them read the short A sound. I'll still have them read the short A sound on Wednesday. Thursday, after they've read that short A, then I think they're going to be ready to write it. And then Friday, of course, I'm going to have them write that short A sound as a little practice. And then at the end of the week, I'll have them do a spelling test. This is a little 5-day lesson plan. And we could do a longer lesson plan. We could make it 2 weeks if we wanted to, which a lot of teachers, I think, do. Now, the fun part comes in this. If you know these sorts, so you know what a sound sort is, and a cut and paste sort, and a blind sort, we can now kind of deal these out onto our block plan. So if I want kids to be able to hear and sort the short A, really want them to focus on hearing the short A, am I going to use a sound sort or a pattern sort? Got to know these sorts, so I'm going to use a sound sort. The other sort I could use to help kids really think about the sound of the short A would be the blind sort. So I could use either one of these. With real young kids who are doing letter name stage, I like the sound sort. Maybe older kids, I'll do the blind sort. So I'll save that for another time. Tuesday, I want kids to read the short A. And I know it's a short vowel pattern, so I'm going to use this cut and paste sort. That's the one where we were using the pictures that we had sorted on the first day to kind of decide how to read a word. The second day, I'm going to do a pattern sort because that's kids reading the words. You saw a demonstration of that. And then the fourth day, I'm going to have them do a writing sort because that's where I'm going to actually see can they write those words. And then on the fifth day, they're going to do their spelling test, but before they do their spelling test, I might have them do that read, build, write activity in that plastic sleeve. So here's how we're going to move toward building curriculum. Instead of just thinking about single lessons, we're going to think about 5-day progressions. And we'll work on that more next week in the screencasts. We've also learned about things like word hunts. So what I might do is after I have kids do the cut and paste sort, maybe as an application or guided practice, I could give them a poem or a short bit of text and have them find short A's in that particular work. I have that bingo game where kids are rolling the cards and then reading the blocks, playing bingo. I might add that in on Wednesday when my goal is to have them read that short A. Certainly when they play that bingo game, they're reading the short A. So this is just a preview as to how we're going to start thinking about planning. You have to know your features so that you can create sorts that only have fair features. You have to know these sorts and how to do them so that you can kind of use them in a 5-day lesson plan progression. It would be terrible for me to start this 5-day lesson plan with having kids do a writing sort. It's just too hard. Before they can write those short A words, they first have to have listened to the short A, then learned how to read those words in the cut and paste sort, then taken the pictures off and do a pattern sort. Finally, they get to the writing sort. So you have to know what these sorts are and what they teach so that you can use them in the right time frame. This is what we're moving toward next week. For your work this week, you have the weekly prep. And on this weekly prep, this is just kind of a little plan. If we were going to make a closed teacher-directed pattern sort, here's a space for what you would put at the top in your categories. And then here's a space for some words that you would use with students to make this sort. So let me show you how to do this. Okay. Now we're going to go off of short vowels for a little bit. Remember, short vowels are the only feature that we use word families with to introduce the feature. Let's say we were going to teach EE, which is an other long vowel pattern. This is the new thing within Word that we're going to teach. We want to compare the new thing to something kids already know. So I'm going to compare EE to they already know. If they're learning this in the within Word stage, there is a nice feature in the letter name stage I can compare that to. And I'm going to do short vowel E, eh. Now again, because we're not teaching a new short vowel, we're not in the letter name stage right now, we're in within word stage, we just need to come up with some words that we could use for a pattern sort. What words could we use that would be fair for within word stage speller? So one word I can think of is speed, S-P-E-E-D. Now speed is fair because this is a blend, other long vowel, consonant. So when kids are learning EE in the within word stage, they would know all of those features. All right, what I want you to do is we have the new feature, comparing it to the known feature. I want you to come up with, let's say, 4 words on each side that you could use. You could cut apart these words and kids could do a closed teacher directed pattern sort with them. I want all of these to be fair for within word stage speller. Stop the video now and come up with your own little grid. Okay, now to check to make sure that your features are fair, you just want to make sure if a child's in the within word stage, could they read all of these features? Yes, they could, and they all have that short E sound. And then over here I have 4 words, and they all are fair. These are all things kids could read if they're in the within word stage. Because when they're in the within word stage, they've already learned consonants and blends and digraphs. So let's try this again. Let's try it again. Let's say, okay, we want to teach the within word stage feature AY, which is an other long vowel, AY, other long vowel. Now we're teaching this within word stage, so let's compare it to something kids know. So what I want you to do is, what would be your comparative category, something kids already know, and then come up with 4 words on each side that we could use for a pattern sort. Stop the video, write your little grid, and then come back and check it against mine. Okay, so here's what I came up with. Now there are a lot of options. I have all my AY words here, and then I have short vowel. I used short vowel as my contrastive category. You could use something else, but you just need to make sure it's something they would know when they were doing other long vowels. You also want to make sure that there's a sound contrast between these categories. So you wouldn't want to put AY here, A, and then maybe vowel consonant E over here for A, because the sound that is in the word make is the same sound that you hear in A, AY. So make sure they contrast the sounds. All right, let's do one more. We want to teach the abstract vowel ow. Give me a step back category here, something that kids who are in the within word stage would already know. And 4 words on each side. Then restart. So there's lots of different ways you could do this. I have ow over here, so I'm going to step back. I know abstract vowels are learned after other long vowels in the within word stage. So I'm going to use these OA, other long vowel, because I know students already know this. You could also use short vowel O. You could use O consonant E because it doesn't sound like ow. You could use OR, R controlled. So lots of options for what you put here. You just want to make sure that they learn whatever you're putting here before what you have introduced for the new feature. Then I have boat, goat, moan, and float. These all have that O sound in them and have fair features for someone in the within word stage. Over here I have cow, now, wow, snow, and then plow. So all of these look right, but one of these is not actually giving the same sound. Yeah, so I probably wouldn't want to use snow at this point, right? I would use snow for a different sort, but not this one. So even though all these features are fair, SN is a blend, OW is an abstract vowel, it's not the same sound that I'm going after in this particular pattern. So you want to make sure that when you put a word in this pattern sort that it actually makes the sound that you're kind of working through in this particular sort. All right, so now let's make this a little harder. And let's go back to our short vowel sort. Now, I'm going to say the new feature is short vowel A, and I'm going to say kids already know the short vowel U. I can't really go back further than the short vowel category. So I want kids to be listening for ah and See if you can write 4 words on this side and 4 words on this side that we could use for a pattern sort. We could cut those words apart. But added challenge, because these are short vowels and I want to make this first sort easy, I want one word family here and a contrasting word family over here. So one word family on this side, one word family on this side. 4 words on each side. Stop the video, you try it, and then see what I came up with. So you could do it a lot of different ways. I'm using the UG family on this side, so all the words will end with g. So that makes the sound larger, and it makes the sound easier to hear because it's at the end instead of just the middle. So I've got rug, snug, bug, and tug. All fair features for letter name stage spellers. And then on this side I have can, man, tan. So I'm contrasting ug with an. And all of these have the same end. Can, man, tan, candy. Uh-oh. Now, candy is probably not a good choice for me. One, because we've lost the word family there, right? And is now buried in the middle of the word, which will make it hard again. And this D with the Y on the end is tricky for kids because the Y is not making the consonant sound, yuh. And so this is a feature that they don't yet know. It would not be fair for a letter name stage speller where kids are learning short vowels. So I probably shouldn't use this. You always, when you design a sort, want to look to make sure you've always picked fair features. All right, in your application activity, you are going to be pretending that you are going to teach the short vowel I. So short vowel I is your new feature here. You know your students already know short vowel A or O. So you're going to determine what goes in these categories. Remember, a step back is a step forward. So compare something that you want to teach, which is short vowel A, put right here, to something they already know. And I've given you some information. I'm sorry, short vowel I is what you're trying to teach. And then compare that to something kids already know. We know that they already know these 2 vowels. So pick one of them over here. And then you want to come up with your 4 words on each side that you could use for a closed teacher-directed pattern sort. And the challenge is we want to make this super easy. So you're going to use contrasting word families. So 1 word family on this side and 1 word family on this side. This is how I will see if you were able to learn from our practices. So complete this on your own, and then move forward to the next screencast.